Hello, everyone, Internet land. Are you ready for this? Series 3 is starting tonight. And the board is full. This is amazing to see this many players at one time. I'm going to disappear, but I'll still be there in spirit. So we're going to give this right over to Michael because Series 3 starts right now. All you, sir.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Dark Forest, the epic woodland fantasy that takes you on a wild journey of animal adventure, one clearing at a time. This is episode 1 of our third arc episode is entitled The Eve of Reaping Day. Yes, it's Reaping Day Eve, the classic holiday we all know and love, or at least we do in the Dark Forest. But let's go ahead and meet the players who will be journeying with me into that Dark Forest, including 2 special guest stars who have appeared. I think this is their third time. The hat trick, is that right? I'm not sure what a hat trick is, but yes, the third time joining us here on Time Tabletop in the Dark Forest. But let's go ahead and meet everybody. So please tell me who you are, who your character is, kind of a little outline of what species they are, what their specialty is, what they're all about, and how they're feeling as they take a mission that could, in kind of a roundabout way, bring peace to the Dark Forest. Let's start with Patrick.
Hello, I'm Patrick. I am playing our Arctic Hare friend, Kiva. She is using the Scoundrel playbook and is kind of a massive firebug. So we'll see how that all resolves now after she's getting back off her ship.
Yes, no ships in this one, a terrestrial kind of campaign, or arc. And we'll see if Kiva can blow some things up in this particular episode. We are also joined by, and very happy to have her here, it is Kat.
Hi, I'm Kat. I am playing Janna Winterborn, who also goes by Lady Fox when she remembers to go by Lady Fox. She is an exile from the Winterborn Dominion, as evidenced by her last name. She's kind of the heir to the throne, maybe if her aunt doesn't kill her first. She tends to solve problems through violence, but that's just because she has a limited kind of imagination. Also, she just doesn't like evil people who abuse their power. Once again, though, her chief solution to experiencing evil is to try to eliminate said evil and not through voting. She's having a time heading towards the city that she does not want to go to. And continuously being prevented from, fighting noble battles. She's very much, if this were D&D, she'd be a paladin. But this isn't D&D, so she's just an overly zealous fox.
Well, there's plenty of room for that as well. And yes, the city, the free city of Katzenberg, which is where you were taking these refugees, and now you're kind of on a mission that takes you away from Katzenberg, so you will end up there, hopefully, but it's kind of in a roundabout way. We are also joined by a Time and Tabletop mainstay. Delighted to have him with us. It is Marvin.
So hey, I'm Marvin, and I'm going to be playing Seamus Opossum, who, as you can tell by the name, is an opossum. He used to be mildly mischievous vagrant, but he is now turned into a cynical raider, trying to fight for the freedom of the denizens of the forest. And he's kind of become despondent of his fight over the years. Some betrayals, just some feelings of, is any of this really worth it? But now he's on a new journey. Put Janna on the throne of the Winterborn Dominion, and maybe things will change for the better for everyone. Or not. At least he's getting paid to do it. So, it'll come out pretty well.
We will have to see what happens there, but there's always work for a brutal mercenary. Joining us as well, another Time Tabletop regular, it is Nick.
Hello, everyone. I am Nick, and once again, I am bringing back Finn Cardew, the Rose Finch raconteur, extraordinaire, and should be fun.
Yes, he's a songbird who's kind of traveling the world, a balladeer of some renown. I know he's got at least one huge mega fan that we met in our last
We'll
arc.
see if a new one pops up in this next area.
We will have to see. So yeah, he's a pretty famous kind of songbird celebrity, always looking for inspiration for his music.
Yeah.
Okay. And joining us as well, it is my own flesh and blood, my sister, who is a wonderful role player in her own right, bringing back a character from a one shot we did, I think, a few months ago. It is Jenny.
Hello, I'll be playing Spoons McAvoy, a rat vagrant who loves to, use the power of words and manipulation to get what she needs in this brutal world. But also is just, here for a good time, has a lot of grandchildren, and a very loving relationship with their husband, Knives McAvoy.
Oh, adorable. And speaking of Knives McAvoy, let's meet Knives, played by Alex.
Yeah, I'll be playing Knives, who, much like Spoons, is here for a good time, but I think is a little more cautious than Spoons, a little more careful. He's a tinker, so he'll build what Spoons sells, and we'll see what they get up to.
And I should also say that Jenny and Alex, as well as being wonderful role players, are also super creative people who designed the logo of the Dark Forest, the character portraits for all the characters. Jenny did that. And then Alex created the theme song you just heard at the beginning and end of the episode. So got to give major thanks for those for that creativity. Okay, I'm going to read a real quick intro, and then we'll go ahead and do some connections between our guest stars, Spoons and Knives, and the regular cast. All right. The eve of Reaping Day. The Dark Forest is an ancient land. It may be placed between two powerful empires, but it has traditions of its own, ancient traditions, dating back to before the arrival of the faith of the blessed beasts, when the animals worshipped gods of the trees, gods of the rivers, and gods of the season, now given form of the fall festival known as Reaping Day. Those traditions and faiths brought comfort and succor to generations of beasts. But when evil sows, terror reaps a bloody crop. That's what four woodland wanderers are about to discover. They are Finn Cardew, a bird balladeer always looking for a new song; Yana Winterborn, Arctic fox, and the rightful claimant to the throne of the Winterboard Dominion; Kiva the crow, a white hare with the raven's mask, devoted to heists and havoc; Seamus Opossum, marsupial mercenary seeking justice. To help prepare an enterprise that could end the war and save the Dark Forest, they've been sent on a mission of rescue to find and save Esther Essen, the runaway daughter of the Grand Sable Emperor's court rat. Now it's the height of autumn, the day before Reaping Day, and they're headed into the heartland of the Dark Forest, straight for the scythe of a grim harvest. All right. Oh, and I should say, real quick trigger warning, this arc episode will contain examples of sort of a fantasy anti-Semitism inspired anti-rat sentiment. So just got to put that out there. And also some other traumatic flashbacks and memories will occur for these characters. This is because we're so close to Halloween, we're going for a horror vibe for this particular arc. Folk horror and sort of cults are kind of the central feeling and the tone that we're going for here. Okay, so with that in mind, let's make some connections between our characters. Now, I know Spoons and Knives do have. Oh, go ahead, Yana.
There is a possible connection between Knives and Yana.
Oh, okay.
That Knives you wouldn't know about by my opening description, but her mother is a tinkerer that traveled from town to town, and Yana accompanied her. It was she had a portable forge. It was the portable forge of of Mrs. Fox, and they would go down town to town with this portable forge, singing songs and fixing people's gear. And back when she was called Jessica Fox, she was kind of a regular stay there. She'd like run around playing tambourine and drumming up business. Just so you know. And she used to dye her hair regular fox colors back then too.
Yes.
All right. I can consider that my I have a professional connection. I mean, that's, I'm sure we worked together, traded schematics, tried shared business with each other. So
yeah, probably with her mother, because something you know about Jessica, you would know her as Jessica. Something you knew about her was that she was very charming, but she did not have her mother's talents for making things at all.
Okay, excellent.
In any conceivable way.
Okay, so that takes care of Knives.
Although, how does professional work?
Professional is
that one
right here.
If I share information with you after reading a tense situation, we both benefit from the +1 for acting on the answers.
Gotcha.
And if I help you with roguish feats, you gain choices on the help move as if you had marked 2 exhaustion when I mark 1 exhaustion. So
fair.
Very cool. Okay, so Spoons, for your connections.
So I already have families with Knives, but I have the Watcher as someone who saw through one of my cons and it turned it back on me. So I think maybe Kiva, possibly, since they seem a little into doing mayhem and that kind of, they can they'd be able to be like, yeah, that's a con. I will not be buying your rat slippers.
Well, they just don't fit my feet. That's the real issue here.
Yeah, I mean, because rabbit feet's very big.
Long.
Rat feet's very small. Tiny little guys. So for that skill, when you figure them out, you always hold 1 even on a miss. And then when you plead with them to go along with you, you can let them clear 2 exhaustion instead of 1.
Ooh, okay. That's a good one. I go through exhaustion a lot.
Great.
All right, so with those connections taken care of, let's dive into the game itself. All right, so in our last episode, our 4 heroes met Septimius von Stahl, this weasel who is a diplomat, a minister in the court of the Grand Sable Empire. He says he has a plan to bring peace to the Dark Forest. And he also mentioned putting Yana on the Winterborn throne. All he needs, though, is a great deal of startup money, some seed money. To do that, he is to get a loan from the court rat who controls the finances of the Grand Sable Empire. And that court rat, Eleazar Essen, has a beloved daughter, Esther Essen, who is missing. As you guys are riding, rolling, walking into one of the many small towns that's on the road to Geist Grove, you're thinking back to what Septimius von Stahl told you, which is that from what he's been able to tell, Esther Essen disappeared around this town, the town of Harrowed Heath. She may have been heading to Geist Grove, which is sort of a site of pilgrimage in the traditional sort of nature-based ancestor worship religion of the Dark Forest. It's a site, it's one of the more magnificent sites in the Dark Forest where animals have brought their the bones of their ancestors and go there to every so often as a pilgrimage to pay homage. So yeah, it's definitely a place that a runaway rat would want to see something new and amazing. but she never made it there. She vanished in around this village in Harrowed Heath. So you guys are arriving, and you get there. It is the day before Reaping Day, the big fall holiday, the harvest holiday of the Dark Forest. And it's a beautiful, clear fall day. There's just a hint of clouds, threatening a storm maybe a little later. But for now, the sun is shining, the leaves gold and orange, and this whole town has been covered in Reaping Day decorations. They got pumpkins, they got bundles of leaves everywhere. They got ropes and these kind of straw figures, these sort of kind of humanoid-looking creatures made of straw, dangling from the ropes as a decoration. And they've got statues and people in costume as Reaping Jack, which is sort of the mascot, the figure of this holiday. Any beast with a pumpkin head and a scythe. So you got kids dressed up as Reaping Jack. There's Reaping Jack decorations everywhere. Everyone's bustling about getting ready for the holiday. There is one big inn in the center called the Happy Harvester that looks like anybody who went in and out of this place would probably stay.
Now, currently it's the 4 of us together. We haven't run into the McAvoys yet.
Not quite, but yeah, you can see the inn. If there was any travelers who might have seen Esther Essen, or if she stopped by the inn, or if she was in here, she would have stopped by the inn. It's the only real place a traveler would go.
And is there anything that people traditionally wear besides dressing up like Reaping Jack?
I think just autumnal colors. You do see a lot of the female beasts have crowns made of autumn leaves. Sort of
I think Janna would try to have a crown made of autumn leaves then, if that's at all possible.
Yeah. I think. Oh, I should say, Von Stahl gave each of you 1 value to help you in this expedition. He figured, he wants to help, but you got a lot already.
Very generous.
Yeah, Jan, it's not too hard. I mean, they're kind of giving out these wreaths. You can easily pop one on your head.
Yeah. I think I forget how much the traveler's cloak costs. The one that kind of disguises you.
Yeah.
That's in the big rolls, isn't it? I think it's 2, but I could be wrong.
Okay, so you're kind of going incognito, though, is what you're saying.
Yeah, but she's got to pay for it. But having that additional value means that it's I'll pay the 2 value to have it.
All right, sounds good. So
and I'll try to look up the details about it in a hot second.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, well, also you guys pop into the inn, and you see a few outsiders, some of which you've seen before, some of which you haven't, but amongst those you have Kiva, you recognize Spoons, and Janna, you recognize Knives.
When Janna recognizes Knives, her tail starts wagging, and she kind of just bounds over to him and while saying, "Oh, it's the McAvoys."
Oh, hi, Spoons.
Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Would you guys I just ordered some pumpkin spice lattes. Would anybody? Should I order more for the table?
So yes, I would love to have some.
You're so
pumpkins.
Good.
Do you recognize me?
I've
let my hair go white. I've let my fur go white. But do you recognize me, Knives? I'm Jessica Fox.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen you since I was a kid, but
yeah, it's been a minute. Man, what town was that?
I have several towns, honestly. You traveled, we traveled, we just kept meeting up all the time.
Oh yeah, right. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's good to see you again.
I believe you don't like the traditional canine greeting of face licking, but let me know if you've changed your mind on that.
I'm good. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. It's much appreciated.
All right, because you could have ear parasites at any time. It's really helpful with that.
I gotta protect myself in my old age, so thank you. It's appreciated.
Well, what brings you all to this part of the Dark Forest?
Oh, I just love the fall, but especially love. See, people go absolutely bananas, but they're carving all these gourds. So my hubby here, he designed this special knife that will just cut any pattern that you want into your gourd.
It's brilliant.
It's got the patterns painted onto the knife, so you can look at the knife while you're carving, and it tells you how you should carve properly.
So you can get like those perfect sort of eyes each time.
Oh,
just sort of
yeah,
like a stamp.
Mm-hmm.
Kids love it.
Yeah.
We've only had a few people lose some fingers, but
To be expected.
overall, it's great. And business, always good.
Excellent. Do I see is Finn and Seamus nearby?
You think you guys have joined?
Oh yeah, who are your
McAvoys
friends
at the
here?
table?
Yeah, I was going
Welcome.
to call them over to sort of sit down with us.
What brings you to this town?
Actually looking for someone.
Oh,
Well, I don't specifically know where she is.
well, do you know who they are?
It's a... Finn, you're better with names. Who was it?
I
believe
believe
it is,
Oh.
is it Esther? Esther Essen?
Esther...
Esther Essence.
Esterson?
Strassen.
Oh,
Yes,
lovely
sir.
girl. I haven't seen her recently.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
think I went to camp with her cousin.
I think she's probably closer to mine and Yana's age. I would
Her
assume. I have no
cousin's
idea, though.
old.
Oh,
He
that's
has
fair enough.
an old cousin. Anyway, I think I mean we rats. There's only so many of us. I mean, there's a lot of us. We have a lot of kids. I have many grandchildren who I all love equally. Anyway, but we all keep in contact, and I mean they're a very good family.
You must go
Really, I mean,
through
especially
trees of
with-
paper.
absolutely. But
At this
you
point, we
know,
don't keep track, really.
We don't, but we know you see a rat. There's someone you can trust.
Sure, neither of you want your faces licked.
I just had my face licked.
Okay.
You know what they say. It's like a perm. Like don't get your face licked too often. It'll mess with your fur.
Right.
That is
Nothing
what they
against
say.
you at all.
No. I just think you should never underestimate the healing power of fox saliva.
I'm sure eventually on our travels I'll request it. But
I'll take your
not
word for it.
currently.
I think at this point, the innkeeper, Balthazar, who is a beaver, comes by with this big tray of pumpkin spice lattes.
Oh my god, they're
Oh,
so
thank
good.
you, Balthazar. Much
He
appreciated.
says, "Oh, here you are, some pumpkin spice lattes, ordered
Thank
for the
you.
table. There you are, there."
I don't. Do you guys have money for this?
Yeah,
Of
I can.
course. Of
It's
course.
running into old friends. We're
Thank
imposing
you.
upon you. We can
Oh my-
pay.
Thank you. Oh, you're so sweet. I could have paid for it. It would have been.
Yeah, don't worry.
It is beyond to lose the value. You guys easily got enough to pay for some
Yeah.
some spice
Hey.
lattes.
Hey, Balthazar.
Hmm?
Have you seen Esther around recently?
Esther. The name's not familiar.
Uh,
Harrow's
little,
a small place, I would
Like a
say.
little
We all
rat.
know each other here.
Little
She would have
rat.
been a traveler.
A traveler. You do know that Esther, she's like a girl,
Yeah.
and she has white fur.
Tiny
And
little white
she's
fat.
super rich, so she'd be dressed pretty well, I bet.
Mm.
She probably would have stood out. She would have, snow white fur,
Red eyes.
better dressed than most travelers you'd see on the road.
He puts his paw to his chin. He's like, "It may ring a bell, but then again, it may not. We get so many guests staying here in the Happy Harvester. All kinds of people coming and going. So a rat could have dropped by here and then left, but I really don't recall. You could try asking some of the others here. They've been here for a little while. There's that there's that ferret over there, the Inquisitor. Though I'd hesitate before talking to him. He's a major sourpuss. And then that frog, or a toad rather, he's with a group of minstrels. And Finn, actually, the rest of you guys do remember these guys. You met them on the road.
Yep.
It is Grimaldi who was leading sort of a troupe of troubadours that you bumped into on the road. So, Grimaldi is there with some of his actors in like a corner, kind of just drinking, relaxing, practicing some lines for their next show. Balthazar says, "Yeah, they travel all over. They're just passing in, so they could have seen her."
Yeah, it's possible. Grimaldi is quite the traveler, if I recall.
To small woods, after all.
Yes.
You did make quite a good impression on Grimaldi the last time that we saw him, so...
That is true. I did put on quite the performance.
That's the
Might
friends
be.
I would say.
Quite willing to share information with you, and if worse comes to worse, I could talk to the weasel.
That is possible.
I can try to talk to the weasel. Weasels love me because I'm a little,
Well, everybody loves you, Spoon.
It's hard not to.
It's hard not to. I
Especially
adore-
with how much charm I have. That's my good.
I adored you even during my moody teenage years. So.
Oh.
Spoons, you do know that in this world, most of the creatures, including the weasel, who is an inquisitor, follow the faith of the blessed beasts. But rats have their own religion of the supreme rodents.
Cool.
And there's a lot of anti-rat prejudice because of that, and especially an inquisitor. So you could try, but
I'm gonna try.
Or I could talk to the Inquisitor.
I
just give
could
it a
talk as well.
I want to give it a shot.
Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
Is that okay?
You want to do this? And then,
Sure.
okay, so maybe we'll check in on the Inquisitor, and then we'll see what Finn and the others, maybe some others, want to talk to Grimaldi and the performers.
Is it
I'll
okay
go.
Is it okay if Yana actually accompanies Spoons to the Inquisitor now that I know that the Inquisitor might be ungodly racist?
I'd also
Yeah.
like to attend on this one.
I'll go. I'll go with Finn here to deal with Grimaldi. And listen, hey, if you can get us in with them, I've got some instruments. I'd love to sell them. I've invented them myself, so just let me know.
That could be interesting. Could be a good words. Good way of diversifying your
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Ooh, very
Not-
cool.
I'm not much of a talker, to be honest, but I do have something that might help with that weasel fella if he follows the old gods. I still have this. What is it? The icon of the saint.
Yeah, that's a blessed beast icon. So he'd be really into that.
Could I borrow it?
Sure. If he's as devout
Should I do
as we
a
think he-
rats for beast?
Rats
Juice.
for the blessed beast.
Rats for the
Okay.
rest of the beast, like a juice for Jesus situation.
I mean, you can try it, but also it is, just like it was in real history, it is in the blood a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, so Yana and Spoons and Seamus, you going with them too?
There's enough people there already. I'll give
Okay.
the icon of the saint to the Spoons. It's if you trade it in, I think it's like +4 to reputation with the denizens of the forest.
Plus
Effie.
4.
That seems good.
Yeah.
It is. This guy is Grand Sable Empire, though. I don't think he's Denizens of the Forest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, but it's still, it's still a religious icon, so it could still.
I didn't
Yeah.
know you could have a +4 reputation.
It's just +4 in those little dots. It's not actually +4 reputation.
Yeah,
Right.
it increases if you give it in increases.
It's from
Yeah,
roots
but
and
it
plunder.
could be useful for those factions, the reputation rolls, which I may have you end up doing. This would definitely give you a bonus for that, for sway an NPC.
But I wouldn't
So
want
wait,
to
okay,
after
so-
you're done with it.
I'm a little confused. So she'd have to literally turn it into this guy, and it would boost her reputation.
Oh, I
by
don't want to get rid of your
yeah,
cool
I'm
item.
I'm a
I was
little
just gonna
confused
show
about
it to
this
him and be
mechanic.
like, "I'm a good rat."
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would definitely give you a number bonus. You wouldn't have to give
Okay.
it to him.
Great,
I would say you like an extra +1
cool.
to a reputation move or to like a persuade roll. Okay, so Yana and Spoon, you guys head over. This weasel He's a very like severe looking thin weasel. He's kind of curved up like a big furry question mark. His head angled down, looking into a some religious, or he's like writing some report on a bit of parchment with like a quill, always dipping in ink and writing some more, and just looking like he's miserable. He's dressed in like black. He has one of the statues of one of the blessed beasts, one of the sainted animals, like on a chain around his neck, and he like doesn't even notice you approaching.
Oh my gosh! I love your necklace.
He glares at you,
Oh,
and he's like, I suppose that is understandable. Do not rats often covet valuable things?
I mean,
I don't think. I don't think that coveting valuable things is unique to rats.
He's like,
Inquisitor.
too true, too true.
I would say I was just complimenting it. I have my own really cool thing that my friend gave me, and I show him the symbol.
Ah, that's an icon. Very rare. How did you have a chance to come by it?
Oh, one of my friends, us rats are just real friendly kinds of people, as you know. Always making friends and not backstabbing anybody. Anyway, we're good folks. And speaking of rats, have you seen a little rat, like a little white cutie, a little fancy rat?
He's like, I don't believe I have, but I am not here to seek rats.
Oh, what are you here looking for? Do you want did you get a pumpkin spice latte?
No, I did not get a pumpkin spice latte.
Oh, maybe are you more of like a pecan cold brew?
No.
Kind of guy.
I am Inquisitor Baldwin Bunce, or Baldwin of Bunce.
It is nice to meet you, Inquisitor Bunce. I am Lady Fox.
A pleasure.
Spoons is what they call me.
Indeed. I am here representing the Holy Church of the Blessed Beasts, seeking out heresy on the hinterlands. And here, in this part of the Dark Forest, it is, I am sorry to say, a nest of heresy.
Oh, we're all really hairy.
You
see?
What particular heretical activities have you observed, Grand Inquisitor? Or is it simply Inquisitor?
Just Inquisitor. I've not reached the grand title.
Oh, well, I think you're just grand.
Oh. Okay, someone's gonna have to do a roll to kind of charm this guy.
Yeah,
could be persuade, or it could be the reputation move.
I've got a +3 charm, so I'm ready to roll any other time.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
I have +2 as well. I don't know if we can like assist each other. So.
We could just both roll. I don't.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, go for it. There is the help move as well, but yeah, go for
Just double up. I've got 10.
Okay, Spoons, how did you do?
I got a 9 +2, so 11.
Wow, you two just charm the what's the word? You just charm him to pieces. You
Very
lay on
charming.
the charm. So he's like, well, you know, I shouldn't tell outsiders about some of the things I'm reporting on, but well, you do seem very trustworthy. You do have that icon, even if one of you happens to be a rat. Yes.
A good rat.
It is my understanding that while some of these creatures might say they believe in the blessed beasts, actually they still worship their older gods. These old spirits of nature and so on. They sort of dress them up in blessed beast exterior. This entire festival, this reaping day, is pure heresy.
Oh, like the pumpkins? You don't like them?
I despise the pumpkins.
You're more of like a squash kind of guy.
I hate the squash
Oh
too.
my God.
So basically, all decorative gourds are right
Yeah.
out.
No,
what
yes,
you're saying.
yes, because there's symbols of an unholy pagan heresy that has infected this land, and I fear that there's something worse going on too.
Worse,
Some-
you say?
Yeah,
Yes.
what news?
Strange rituals. I haven't quite found enough evidence, but well, there used to be a castle in this area with a noble family within, and then years back they disappeared. I think
Where's
the
the
ruins of the
castle?
castle. What's that?
Oh, you're about to tell me where the ruins are. I've interrupted
Right. The
you,
ruins.
so
The ruins
sorry.
are not so far away, and I was hoping to explore them and see if there's any clues as to what happened to the noble family that once ruled these lands. And he does mention the ruins of this castle area.
Oh well, we
Well-
might be heading there too to see if we can figure out where a friend of ours disappeared off to.
I assure you, I require no assistance.
Well, maybe we could use your help, your assistance. You know, it's always nice
And
to
I
have.
don't see that happening.
Oh, okay. Well, ta for now. Enjoy your black coffee. Oh God. At least have some cream in there. Oh,
Oh, is that what
bitter.
you're
Good
drinking?
day.
Are you drinking
No,
black
this
coffee?
guy's just drinking a cup of water. Oh, sorry, Anna.
There's
Oh.
too much flavor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a cup of water.
No,
Water's
It
wonderful.
looked like black water. dark
Yeah.
dark mug, I guess.
Do you wish to have any like charcuterie or anything?
No.
Just mush in a bowl.
All right. Well, if you
Perhaps.
run into a little white rat, please call her. Make sure she gets home safe.
He kind of like glowers at you and then goes back to his writing his notes.
I think that was incredibly productive.
I think so too. He was a really charming sort of fellow.
I agree. I just love, an older gentleman who works in business with organizations that are not my own.
Wow.
The little. I'm sure we're out of earshot of him.
Yeah,
the
you're out of
the little
earshot.
soupçon of racism that
Yeah, I mean,
accompanies
my father he hated all shrews. So, I mean, I get it. I grew up with a lot of anti-shrew sentiment.
You remember, my mother hates literally nobody.
Yeah. But,
Which-
I think that exposure breeds, and goodness. The more he sees good rats, maybe he'll change his tune.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to note for both Spoons and Knives, you know that this character did not grow up speaking with like a posh British accent. This is a put on. Like
Cool.
that this is not how she spoke when she was a kid.
It's okay. It's okay to use your normal accent. This is my
He's like kind of undercover.
okay.
It's if I use my normal accent, then everybody kind of knows where I'm from,
Yeah.
So it's just kind of
I know, same.
better.
Because I'm from Staten Island. Staten
Wow.
Island.
Oh, from Ratton Island.
Yeah,
Ratton
Rhode
Island.
Island exists now.
Yeah. me.
versus Rat
Anyway,
Hatton.
Rat Hatton.
Man,
No,
Ratton.
I'm not that fancy. Not that fancy. That's okay though.
It's all right.
But,
Okay, so
no
as,
one can
Spoon-
tell.
I've always preferred Long Tail Island personally.
Oh, I
love
love
it.
The 5 rodent burrows. Burrows, BURROWS, of course.
See what our other friends are up to.
All right, so as you guys go back, Finn, Kiva, and Knives, you guys approach Grimaldi. He is this very colorfully dressed, kind of portly toad. He is like, sort of a kind of a motley, like a hood thrown, kind of a jester's hood thrown back. There's some other animals. There's like a skunk knife thrower, and she's like, getting balancing some knives on her knuckles. Oh, Seamus?
Yeah, I don't know if it would actually help them, like give them a bonus or anything, but I have this golden bust left. It's worth like 5 value.
Ooh, okay. You're thinking like as a bribe in exchange for information, or?
It depends. Do we really want to bribe them for their help?
Mm,
Nah.
It might not be necessary.
no.
Not for a 5-value object. Save that for
Yeah.
a big ticket item,
Yeah.
like a location of a
Um,
ritual or something.
Yes.
Well,
I will.
see.
I will be putting on the Merrymaker's mask. What?
Ooh, okay. So Finn throws on what is? I mean, I kind of described it a little bit, but like, I'll ask you, Finn. What is it? What does this mask look like?
I would think it's sort of, a little bit like it sort of goes like just above the beak, I guess you could say, on Finn, and then goes down above and sort of comes back up around, and it's very sort of like fanciful. It's a very simple in the sense of those. Now my mind is blanking on the troop.
You're thinking like kind of a Venetian.
Yeah, kind of more like I just had it in my. I just had it. It was the theater style.
Like the Commedia dell'arte.
Commedia dell'arte. There we go.
Yeah. With like yes, yeah, very like old-fashioned classic kind of carnival.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, so you throw that on and show up, and like when that's on, like the party has arrived.
Yes.
So Grimaldi like turns around and sees you, and he's like, "Oh, Finn Cardew, the party has arrived."
Grimaldi, my
join
friend,
us.
it is quite wonderful to see you again, my friend.
Oh,
It's been some
that
time.
it is. We're bringing some culture to the hinterlands on our way to Katzenberg.
Aha.
I must admit, I do so long to tread the boards in a civilized city. But here in the countryside, there are some pleasures to be found.
Well, I'm sure there are, my friend. I do have one question for you, though.
Oh.
In your travels, you wouldn't happen to have seen a young rat, white fur, dressed very finely. I think her name was Esther.
Oh, and you could instantly see he's got some recognition in his eyes. He's like, it's most odd that you mentioned that. As we were actually riding into town, I think we came from a separate direction as you. We chanced to go by the Sundered Oak.
Sundered Oak, you say?
Yes, that's sort of a landmark, an old wondrous site in these parts. And in the fields around this oak, we saw a little rat girl running amongst the mushrooms, and she sort of ran to the boughs of this great tree and then vanished. Into the shadows. It was so odd, like a dream while we were awake. I almost didn't believe that I saw it, but now you're here asking about her, so perhaps it was true.
Did it seem like she was in distress or anything of the sort, or
She did seem. She was far away. We didn't venture too close to the tree, but she was. I mean, she was running about as children do. There didn't seem to be anything or anyone pursuing her.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, quite helpful, my friend.
You saw no other children out there with her? Just her alone?
Just her alone. Most odd. I assumed she was a local girl of the forest, but maybe that's not the case.
She's in fact a traveler. I believe. No.
By the name of Esther.
Yes.
Esther.
Yes.
Yes, Esther Essen. I don't know if you know the Essen family.
Oh, well, I've heard of it. I know her father, Eleazar Essen. He works directly for the Grand Sable Emperor.
Yes.
So,
Indeed.
Yes, I believe they're sort of traveling through.
Yes,
So-
most odd.
Right. The fact that she was alone is interesting.
So he's like, Finn, I've met your friend, the rabbit there, but who's this new one accompanying you?
This is a new acquaintance that I have made. I believe this is Knives.
Knives, a pleasure to meet you.
A pleasure indeed. I'm Grimaldi of the Mendicant Merrymakers. We're a
Yes.
troupe of traveling performers.
Yes, he's in fact an inventor, and he has just informed me that he has made some inventions of the instrumental variety.
Yeah, I've got a. It's a stick, and you put. There's a string on it, and you pluck it, and then you tense up or loosen. You push on it to make it a lower or higher note.
How strange! All right,
Could
Knives,
be good for you.
Knives, you can give me like a persuade, maybe.
Sure.
Try and hawk this instrument here.
I'm not asking for much for it. Oh boy. That's charm.
Yeah.
5.
Unless you're tricking him. Okay, well, I don't think anyone can help you there.
Sadly, no.
Fortunately,
like-
not.
Yeah.
He's like, well, that's just a marvelous sound, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
Yes, you can go on twanging it to your heart's content.
Should have taken the bribe.
Well, if
you're gonna bribe him like with like this immensely valued bus and he'll buy like a string with a stick on it.
Well, let me know. I'll give you my card. We can talk later.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I'm sure you can. He seems like a very, very smart one.
Oh,
Perhaps,
yes, very, very smart.
Yes,
So we'll actually be leaving this town. He's looking up. He's like, we should probably actually get going. We still have a bit of daylight. There's a bridge that sort of leads away from Harrowed Heath, so we can just start heading out and being on our way. But as he is saying this, Balthazar pops in front of the door and says, "Oh, slow down there. I'm afraid everybody, I have to make an announcement." And he clears his throat. He's like, "I've just heard that a little bit of rain has kicked in, and indeed you can see there's a light drizzle going on. Unfortunately, the branch of the little cart that goes under the bridge leading out of Harrowed Heath is just risen from its banks, and it's overflowed, and that bridge, very flimsy, it's a little bridge. It should hold, but it's overwhelmed by the water. It's just not safe to cross right now. So you'll have to stay until at least sunset when the water dies down. I do apologize. You know what? Spiced pumpkin lattes on the house for everybody."
Can I
Okay.
to
That makes it all better.
figure this person out? Figure Balthazar out?
Yeah,
This is
go
very
ahead.
suspicious.
Okay.
It's not good for me, but
Yeah, you're rolling with charm.
that's a 12.
Hey.
Wow. All right, you can ask him 3 questions.
Okay. First question is: are they actually telling the truth?
Okay, he is. Yeah, there is the bridge is impassable.
Okay.
So you are stuck here.
How can I get them to let us leave, saying we're not heading direction of the bridge, but going somewhere else? Maybe I'm confused on this. Is the bridge the direction we came from into town, or is it the direction we want to go to try to find Esther?
The bridge is the way out of town, so you can still definitely go to the Sundered Oak without having to cross the bridge.
Got it.
Yeah, the Sundered Oak is pretty close to Harrowed Heath, but everybody else is kind of trapped there.
Well, sucks to be Grimaldi, not for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I really need to ask. I think I'm good, unless someone wants to suggest something.
I don't see any reason to struggle against the idea of we can't leave right now. None of us are particularly aquatic.
Well, here's the
How,
thing. We could still get to Sundered Oak. We just can't leave town.
Oh, okay. So Sundered Oak isn't on the other side of the water?
No, it's on our side.
Oh, okay. Well, then we'll go to Sundered Oak.
I want to check out those ruins.
Yeah.
If the ruins are also on this side of the water, then I mean,
We got plenty of stuff to do. It's just a little rain.
We should still be very careful.
no, that's just player not understanding that. I was like, oh, I guess everything's trapped on the other side of the water. All right.
No.
That's why I asked about Sundered Oak.
It's not trapped. You just can't leave the area.
Gotta
Yeah.
do game stuff.
Yeah. Grimaldi looks pretty upset. He's like, well, we still have daylight. We really need to get going if we're going to reach Katzenberg, but I suppose we have no choice. And hey, I mean, what's wrong with staying, enjoying some spiced pumpkin lattes for the troops? So they're enjoying themselves. Inquisitor Bunce just like closes his notes and he's just like, I shall be in my room, and he leaves. He looks pretty upset about being stuck here for a while.
I will. Well, since you are trapped here, my friend, why don't you put on a little show? Perhaps make some money. Balthazar, would you be interested in perhaps seeing a show of Grimaldi and his troupe?
He's like, yes, why not? A little merrymaking. So is this what move is this one?
Well, I was hoping to just sort of like lift everyone's spirits and sort of like with perhaps even like perform with the troupe for a time. And,
sounds good.
Michael, I have a quick question. Would I be able to have Janna approach Knives at some point during all this merrymaking?
Yes. Let's have so Finn, do you want to roll for the tools of the trade move?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And I do want to have something with Seamus happen as well, which is going to occur pretty soon. All right, so let's check in with Finn. We'll do that roll, then we'll have Janna talk to Knives, and then we'll have something's up with Seamus.
Ooh, that's a nice roll. So close to being met. But since it will be a 14, which actually means that I get to mark prestige with the faction. Would you say that Balthazar is Dark Forest?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So I get to mark prestige with faction and I flatter them. And an important member comes forward to offer me our first work. And I will obviously like include the troop.
Right. So he says after you do your performance, just like some rip-roaring, exciting kind of autumnal tunes. Some of the other in-guests get some like high-stepping jigs going there on the floorboards. Afterward, Balthasar says, he just applauds. He's like, Master Cardew, would you and these this troupe, these merrymaking, these mendicant merrymakers, would you like to perform at our Reaping Night festival? It's tomorrow night, the night of it's Reaping Night, the night after Reaping Day.
Well, that is all. I am more than willing to put on the performance. It would be. I know Grimaldi was speaking of leaving fairly soon, but if he is interested, we could put on a performance.
Grimaldi, he's not. You can tell he's not interested. He's like, Katzenberg, that's where the audiences are. But if we remain stuck in this backwater, then sure, we'll perform at your little Reaping Night shindig.
My friend, but even the smallest of towns can bring word of mouth of your performances as well. So
true,
and
but
improve your reputation.
I have performers to pay, and I need to.
Of course,
they can't pay them with word of mouth.
Of course. I mean, if you, I am also willing to put in a few of my own funding, if you so insist.
All right, I'll consider it. Okay, so Janna, you approach Knives.
Knives. I know that you have quite a bit of skill in repairing objects. Do you have any skill in repairing creatures? I was stabbed fairly badly recently and need to get stitched up.
You know, I don't have a medical degree. I only majored in engineering at the college, so unfortunately I don't think I can do anything for you there.
Okay. I wasn't certain. My mother knew how to do things like that, but
yeah. You know, I could build you a crutch or some sort of assisting device or something, but nothing to patch it up. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just in my future career. I really do need to start having a professional doctor accompany me because I do keep getting stabbed.
Yeah, it's good to find a family doctor you can trust early on in your life so that you can stick with them.
Yeah, I need a traveling medic. I feel like my days of getting stabbed are quite ahead of me in terms of things. Maybe I can find medical attention in this town.
Probably, I think.
Yeah, I was just hoping that maybe you'd help. I would just rather have somebody who's a friend stitch me up than some
Of course.
person. I actually have an entire platoon of wolves, but they're not with us right now.
Oh, well.
I quite don't know what I'm doing here. This is not my...
Don't worry, sweetie. I'm sure you'll figure it out. We'll find someone to get that stitched up for you. No problem.
Yeah.
We'll just,
do you know anybody in
town?
town? Do you know any? You've been here. Do you know anybody in town that could do it?
Do I know any doctors in the
You
town?
might have passed a barber surgeon, but they probably wouldn't. They're probably not too great in a little kind of out of the way place like this. Yana, if you want to try and find somebody, why don't you roll a trust fate and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so that's
Roll
just
your
rolling
luck.
with luck.
Yeah.
There's also the meet someone important move. It's a reputation move.
We could try
Either
that.
way, I'm dealing with a +1, so
Okay.
I got a 9.
Okay. I would say you do find this town's barber surgeon. They're like okay. So you get to heal. So how much are you injured by?
Just 1, but
Yeah, they heal it up for you.
okay. Do I
They
have to
stitch
pay
it up and bandage you, and they're like, keep it dry, and I don't know.
All right.
They're okay.
Do I have to pay a value for it? This is why she's perpetually broke.
Yeah, it will cost 1 value.
Okay.
Because it wasn't too much of an operation.
I'm down to just 1 value again.
Okay, Seamus. While Yana's getting stitched up, maybe you maybe go outside, watch the rain. It's not too bad. Sort of a light mist coming down. And
Seamus is trying to find a buyer for the loot he has because he doesn't really like having it on hand. Might attract
good point.
unsavory people.
all right, an apple is actually thrown at you.
Can I catch it, or at least try to catch it?
You know what? Give me there's no like catch an apple move. Why don't you give me an engaging melee move? And if it's really cool, maybe you like cut the apple out of the air or something. Or, yeah, so go ahead and roll with might.
That's a 2. That's a 1. That's a 6 altogether.
Okay. Yeah, the apple just like bangs into your head.
Ah! Oh, heck, what the?
You look over
Where did
and
that come from?
you see there were a bunch of village kids, a lot of them wearing like reaping jack masks. And as soon as you were hit with the apple, like all of them run away. One of them is like, stay still. He like looks around. He's like, guys, wait. And then he spins around and stares at you. And you can see he's like a wildcat kitten. And you can see like inside the eye holes of his mask, like his eyes are going like really wide. He's like really nervous about being stuck with this. And he's like, I'm sorry. It's just a happy reaping day.
Happy Reaping Day, is it, lad? You think throwing apples at folks' heads is gonna be happy?
It's a reaping day prank. That's what Reaping Jack does. We're supposed to put on the mask and then just go around and do pranks and gags. It's fun.
You know how much apples hurt?
No.
Well, if someone was less sturdy than me, they'd probably be concussed. I've seen somebody get a hairline fracture from one of these things.
Just an apple. I don't think it'll be that hard.
But you never know, do you, lad? And if you don't know, why are you throwing apples at people?
It's just one of the traditions we have.
Oh, it's a shite tradition, if you ask me.
Are
What's
you?
your name,
You're not.
anyways?
I'm Petey.
Well, Petey, it seems your friends have abandoned you.
Yeah. You're not from around here, are you?
No. Place I was from is a couple miles away from this place.
Well, Well, if I were you, I would try and leave as soon as you could.
Boy, your holiday can't be that, well, happy, so to say. And Seamus throws the
No,
apple in the river if he can.
There's some Reaping Day traditions that are really old here. And just it never really goes well for outsiders. Oh, a real cat has joined him. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just like it never really goes well for outsiders.
Well, so.
And then from across the street, you hear his friends calling out, like, "PD, come on!" And he like puts his mask back on and like just gives you a real quick wave and then dashes away to join them.
I hate kids.
All right, so with that in mind, I think is everybody ready to head over to the Sundered Oak? Okay, so you guys get everything. Oh, go ahead, Seamus.
Will you ever find out where that Esther Estenson person is?
Well, there has been some sighting at the oak that we're traveling to, so perhaps we can find some clues.
Well, that's good. Never did find a buyer for all this shite. Speaking of which, Spoons, do you still have me icon?
Oh yes, here you go.
Thank you.
I couldn't find a buyer for my instrument. You know,
Oh, honey, they didn't
we
like they didn't like string and stick.
No, they did. They didn't,
Oh.
sweetie. You know,
Honey,
I
that's
didn't
'cause
have.
you-
I didn't
you
have
didn't
you
have-
there to sell it for me.
I know.
Well,
Well,
I'd
Well-
buy things off of you if I had any value at
No.
this point.
No,
Oh,
your
yeah,
money's
no,
too. Your money's
Seamus
too
will-
important for you to keep.
I'm literally spending all my money on surgeons.
Well, perhaps I can take one off your hands for some coin and show it
Oh,
off
no.
for them.
For you, it's on the house, and Knives just hands over stick string.
Oh, man.
string
Finn's
in
gonna-
stick. You
String
have
and
to-
stick?
sweetie,
Is
you
that
can't
what-
just call it stick string. Doesn't nobody cares if it? You have to, a string and stick.
Okay, string and stick. Yeah.
String and stick.
Wow.
The new instrument of the time.
What about
It's the
singing?
moment.
What about singing?
Actually, can I do my jury rig to create the makeshift device on the fly, and that will be the string and stick?
Yeah, though I think Kiva had a really good name for it too.
The singing stick.
Singing
Oh,
stick.
the sing-
That's even
Oh, I like
better.
that name. That's it. That's we're selling it
That'll
as the
sell
sing
it.
and stick.
It's
I've-
the sound of the moment.
Ooh, good selling point.
All right, go ahead and roll jury rig.
I think the sound of the moment is rain.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
light rain.
It's a 6.
Oh
Um,
no.
So, well, okay,
Nice.
that doesn't mean anything bad. It's I only get good things on a 10 plus. So I create a device that works once then breaks. So you can use the instrument once.
One perfect
yes.
note.
All right, sometimes the best instruments only do one song. They
Oh.
blow out, so
And sorry, on a miss, the device works, but it has an unintended side effect that the GM will reveal when you use it. So
Oh, fun.
oh, awesome. All right, Finn, just mark that down. That whenever you
Sure.
play this thing, an unintended side effect will occur.
Play the best song in the world, but you can't remember it.
Yeah.
This is only a tribute.
Yeah. All right, so you guys head out, just going on paw. It's not too far away. You follow some trails, and then after a while, you come to this wide clearing, and that is where the Sundered Oak is. Set on a gentle hillside, surrounded by a clearing dotted with brilliant fall flowers, the Sundered Oak stretches to the sky. It's a massive tree, a collection of at least 4 thick trunks jutting out in different directions, and it's dead. Lightning has blasted into the heart of this tree, leaving only bleached skeletal wood. But in death, the Sundered Oak has given life to countless mushrooms. The fungal growths form thick, luminous masses over the ancient branches along the boughs, and spread out in a glowing pool around the roots of the great tree. The whole forest seems to hold its breath as you approach the Sundered Oak, a place of ritual, a place of magic.
Oh, it's so pretty. Reminds me of my rat bar mitzvah.
It is very pretty. So as you guys start wandering around, the recent rain has kind of caused these mushrooms to like open up a little bit, and their spores are mingling into the air, and you're breathing them in. I'm sure animals don't know like that kind of biology, but as you're wandering around, the environment for all of you starts to change, and you all see something different. So Kiva, you, in a site that I think will be, yeah, you see a site that is like terribly familiar to you. One moment you're like, you're walking around the, this tree, you're stepping on the mushrooms, and then you sort of turn a corner, and you're like knocked down, you're knocked flat by like an explosion. And this is an explosion that you remember. Like you felt this before. And you look up and you see the remains of your family's house. That was what do you think happened to it?
Well, it caught fire. The blast itself was surprisingly not that concussive, so just sort of knocked the wind out of her as it sent her flying a bit. But the incendiary portion was the real danger that she did not really think about. And as she sees her home burn, she only realizes who's inside. And while she's horrified and saddened and scared, seeing the fire, there is a odd shriek of excitement.
Whoa. So you emit this shriek, and as you like sort of get up, you kind of hear in your head the voice of your parents just being like, "Why did you make us burn?" And you kind of hear that echoing around your skull. And then you look up and you're looking up at the branches of the trees that sort of match the ruined, burned fragments of your house.
Can she attempt to make something quickly?
Yeah. What are you trying to build here?
Going back to her one comfort, something that's burning.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and roll the what's the name of this move? I know
Create
it's
to destroy.
Yes, a classic. Yeah, go ahead and roll that one.
You're something for a high roll.
How'd you do?
At the 10.
Ooh, pretty good.
Just the bare minimum. I'm quickly trying to make some sort of torch, but obviously there's nothing that's small and easy to carry around, so I find a bough on the ground, a large branch, and begin tearing at the robe, pulled some oil out of her bag to douse it, and then catches it on fire, hopefully to try to burn some of the spores in the area around her.
Yeah, you frenziedly put this torch together, and yeah, you're sort of able to kind of clear some of the spores away from you. As you're doing this, let's pop over to Spoons and Knives. I think you guys have the same memory. Also involving a burning house. As you are walking through, both of you are probably together, and you sort of turn a corner through the mist. You go through around one of these branches, and suddenly up ahead, you're not in this field anymore. You're in your old village that was destroyed in a pogrom. And you had survived this. You were able to maybe hide in the woods as these these other beasts were just kind of ransacking and burning and killing. And you told your was it a son or a daughter who was Forks?
Our firstborn son.
So you told Forks that he'd be safe hiding in the house, but then you didn't realize that this pogrom would set fire to your village just to try and burn it away. So you come back, and you're looking up and you see your house just like on fire, like all floors just consumed in flame.
I relive the memory, which is I run into the house and pass out from the smoke. Knives goes in to save me before I'm even able to get to his bedroom.
I take out my tools and try to like clear a path through the debris in the burning house to save spoons and a fork.
Yeah, so you guys are doing this, but it has that nightmarish feeling, like when you're trying to outrun something, or like run somewhere but you never get there. So
Yeah,
you're
we're
just like running
climbing the stairs to get to his bedroom.
Yeah, just endlessly. And Knives, you're just going through tool after tool trying to clear away the wreckage, and it's just not working. And then you guys hear in the back of your mind, you hear Forks' little voice being like, "Mama, Papa, where are you?" And this is what you guys are hearing as the spores are going through you. All right. Seamus, you turn a corner, you're walking around this tree, and then you are in a village that you and the Green Wardens, your former mercenary band, had previously saved from the Grand Sable Empire. And then after you have returned from a scouting mission, you come back and you find out that this village, they sold the Green Wardens out to the Grand Sable troops, who came back, reoccupied the village, and captured and executed all of your former comrades. So you're like coming back through the town square, and you see the tree in the middle, which kind of shifts and becomes the Sundered Oak, and then shifts back to the tree in this village square. And you can see hanging from the branches of the Sundered Oak and from the tree in the same moment, the nooses. And then dangling from each noose is a member of the Green Wardens, your former friends who you fought and bled with, and beasts who put their trust in you as their commander, who are now just gone because of this betrayal.
What happened? We had a militia. We could have fought for you. And you do this to us? Langris. Moira. All my friends. What have you done? And Seamus pulls out his axe. What have you done?
And I think as Seamus is just like hacking, he's like cutting up the mushrooms, he's like slamming it into the tree and just driving like huge gouges against the wood. You hear in your head like the voices of your soldiers all together being like, "Commander, where were you?" Finn, you also had a not so good experience in a city where you, when you were young, you witnessed a robbery by a thief from like a powerful gang. And instead of singing like you should have, you stayed quiet. You did not sing. You became a silent bird out of fear. And because of this, another beast, I think we said it was a friend of your family's too.
I don't think I mentioned that specifically, but sure.
Yeah. He was accused, and it's a corrupt. Actually, Finn, do you think you grew up in like Katzenberg, in like a big city, or is it more like a small country village kind of place?
I would say it wasn't quite as big as Katzenberg. He was definitely sort of like not quite a like farming village, but like sort of like in the middle somewhere of that, between the two. So it was enough that like it had a decent town square where
the
the sentence was carried out.
Yeah, so this had like a pretty, this town, it had like some law, but it was pretty much all controlled by this gang.
Mm-hmm.
But still, you could have sang and got this innocent guy like off, but the fix was in, and now he is led into the square. Everybody's there watching because it's this time period. Public punishment is a cool entertainment, and as you watch, his paw is shoved down onto the chopping block, and he is actually like, he was an old musician himself. Maybe he was like an otter, and with that paw, he taught you how to play your first instruments.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, your music teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that paw that taught you how to, play chords and finger the strings is placed down onto the block, and an axe thuds down and chops it off. As he screams, and the village, Burgomeister is just like, such punishment to all who chose the path of thievery.
I think throughout the entire time that he's seeing this, like up until the moment that the paw is cut, he is frantically trying to push through the crowd, trying to get to the point, but it just sort of, there's just more and more people in front of him.
Yeah, it's that nightmare of like you're trying to go somewhere and you just can't.
Yeah, he's just trying to make up for what he couldn't do in the past.
And as you're just running through, you hear in your head this voice, Finn, why didn't you sing? Janna, you are wandering through and you see, these mushrooms in the ground, the muddy kind of sod under your paws. And then you look down again, and it's the white snow of the Winterborn Dominion as you and your mother and your father are running away from the coup which deposed you from the Winter Throne.
Don't forget, she also has a brother.
Oh, yes. And your brother, he was captured, I believe, right? So
he's captured later, so he's actually here for this.
Right, yeah. So, yes, your brother, your mother, Jessica, and did we ever give a name for your father?
Her father's name is Fyodor.
Yeah,
her brother's name is Yevgeny.
Okay.
And her mother's actual name is Yasmin.
Right. Right, so you are running through, and then you are ambushed by the pursuing troops of Yekaterina, who kicked out your family. They're a bunch of, these elite, like Desmond, those little kind of shrew-like creatures that are like the elite guard of the Winterborn Dominion. And there's like some like ice riders that were loyal to Yekaterina riding into, and they just like send out a wave of arrows into your family, and your mother and you and your brother are able to get through, but your father is just like, he like stood back to kind of draw their attacks away, and he is hit with like several of these arrows, but he's strong enough to like keep going for a little bit more. And as you run ahead, he's like going after you, urging you on, but you can tell like the arrows are in him, and he's just like getting slower and slower with each step. And the blood is just coming out of him, and it's just so brilliant, bright red. These dots following him as he's trying to move after you. And you're crying and running out to him. Your mom is pulling you away. And he just looks up and he's just like, Janna, go. And then he can't go any further and like collapses.
She looks out at him and goes, that's not how I remember you dying.
How do you remember it?
He got decapitated by the Bloody Baron. Well, she and her family were hiding in a cave.
Ooh, okay.
But I'm okay with this being like not the memory, but yeah.
Yeah. I think you see, like, as he says to you, you look behind him and you do see the shadow of the Bloody Baron coming on him. You see the outline, and like the Bloody Baron as a young Yonder remembers it, just this humongous, towering force of like lynx muscle and fur, holding up his nasty falchion. And it's like it's always approaching. It never, actually reaches your father. It's just, a continuous preparation for his decapitation. And you hear in your head, like, Janna, why didn't you stay and help?
Because I was held back by Mother, the traitorous bitch.
Woo. All right, so with that in your mind, as you guys are wandering around, cutting through all of your memories, you hear a voice singing like an old lilting folk song, and you see Kiva's torch kind of like dancing and burning in the distance, and that sort of like shocks you out of these memories. And you see Kiva standing there waving the torch, and a little bit past her is an old wildcat with like silver fur that's sort of bent over on a cane and is like waving to you with his cane.
And this is for all of us?
Yeah. I think between the torch and the wildcat singing, he's able to like draw you out of these memories.
Spoons is just sobbing.
I'm gonna rush over to Spoons and sort of put an arm around my shoulder as I use the torch to sort of make sure that there's a clear enough space around us from whatever these spores are.
Janna draws her sword and kind of points it at him. Who are you?
He's like, whoa, no need to do that. No, I'm Papa Silver, they call me. Just an old cat who happens to call these woods home. An old cat. Please get out of there before you hurt yourself. Those old memories will do that to you. Come this way, please. Come out of there.
I have to go back.
No, my dear. That was long ago, I'm sure, whatever it was.
So there's...
But doesn't matter that it was bad. I could hear his voice, and that was...
That's what this tree does to you. Come on, this way. And he ushers you sort of out of the reach of the spores, further down the grass.
So long as I don't see another body on that tree.
Listen, we're looking for a young rat. I'm not as bothered as these others because it seems as though maybe the experiences I had were more true to their realities. What is, have you seen such a child? White rat.
He's like, I don't know if I've seen a white rat here, but I did find this. And he takes out of his cloak a stuffed dragon, which has, you can see it's got a little name tag on it, and it says property of Esther Essen.
Gonna reach out for it.
Yeah, he gives it to you. He's like, maybe she was around here, and then she got what those mushrooms gave to you, I think. I think it put all of you in a bad place, yes?
Bad memories.
Similar to my worst memory.
Yes, there's no telling what they'll do, but they always seem to dredge up some pain. Mm-hmm. And again, we all have those pains. That's what life is sometimes, I think. Just you acquiring those one bad memory after another. He's saying this as he's like walking his way back through the woods.
So it's true. It's true. Is everybody else okay?
Finn is oddly silent.
When one is dwelt in one's bad memory, as long as I have, it is takes on variants, apparently.
I don't know what I saw. We should. She clutches the torch, this huge like tree branch of a torch, a little bit tighter.
Kat, actually, we could go back and say the vision you saw was more accurate to your memory if you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just as we established it, like, because it also tied into Nick's previous character. Like, that's how his character was instrumental. Like, you remember your wolf, Nick?
Yeah.
His character was instrumental in saving the family. It was actually a pack of wolves led by the Bloody Baron.
Right.
The father was out gathering food for the family. That this one wolf broke away to warn them beforehand, but they couldn't get to Fyodor in time because they didn't know where Fyodor was. And when Fyodor returned, the family was hiding in a cave, and Janna was basically restrained by her mother to keep her from screaming.
Right, and that's
like to warn her dad. Like so that's what the particular memory is, and I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a jerk about it.
No, I totally get it. No, we can say that like the spores caused that memory to come back, but twisted and mixed up, and with that nightmarish quality to it.
Yeah.
And your father's voice still would be in your ears, asking you like, Janna, where were you?
That makes it sadder for her because she was in the cave, not being able to help.
Yeah. So Papa Silver says, well, there's something that I do know is that life does lay on these horrors to us, but that's why there's tradition and the old ways. Our ancestors knew this. They had a rough go of it just like we do. But when there's such trouble around, you can always go back to the old traditions, and they'll steer you right. Whole world's just going to hell, another war in the dark forest. But here in Harrowed Heath, we keep to the old ways, and we're safe. So, travelers or not, I urge you, keep to those old ways, and they'll steer you right too.
But the old ways of my people is war.
Well, maybe not those traditions. I mean the ones around Harrow Heath, around Reaping Day.
I don't suppose your traditions included taking the hands of supposed thieves.
No, nothing like that. We're a community here, and all are welcome.
No offense, but it seems foreigners in particular aren't welcome in your town. As the little ones put it.
Oh, well, they are young. They don't quite know how things are done. Anyway, let's get you back to town. I think you'll be wanting, after some of this cold, you'll be wanting a little bit of the warmth of the inn, yes?
Possibly. Are there any ruins nearby?
Oh, there is the old castle, long unoccupied. I can guide you there on the morrow if you want, but getting a little bit too late for an old cat like me.
I'm also old, but yeah, okay, tomorrow morning then, maybe make it a brunch. Spoons is trying to like get back to their like bubbly, normal, happy tone, but they're just like, ugh.
I feel the evening, or at least this evening, has brought enough sorrow for this. So,
yeah, we'll do brunch.
Brunch it is. All right, so he does take you guys back over to the inn, and when you come in, you go into the common room. It's getting pretty dark right now. The rain has stopped, so it's a clear, kind of cool autumn night. And as you guys come in, like you go into the common room, and it is empty. There's a fire going out on the hearth. Balthazar's there, like he's putting down some more firewood to keep the heat going, and he already has some pumpkin spice latte. Or pumpkin spice latte is warm or cold? I don't know.
They're warm.
Warm.
Usually
Generally warm.
You can
He's
have
got
a
some
nice
warm,
one,
some extra warm pumpkin spice lattes ready to go for you guys.
Is that the only drink you have here?
He's like, well,
Not
we
that
do
it's
have.
bad.
Oh no! Well, thank you. We have ale. We have pumpkin ale. It's pumpkin ale though.
Makes sense.
We got pumpkin wine. We got pumpkin whiskey. Pumpkin
So-
juice.
I'll have what's your hardest one?
Oh, that's pumpkin hard cider.
Give me the hard stuff, please. What a night! Oh my god.
Will do.
I think at this moment I'm going to just stick with water, and she pulls some vodka out from her bag.
Sweetie, you don't usually drink that heavy this late.
It's
You can't sleep after you have that.
fine. I don't think I'm gonna be sleeping that much anyway, honey.
Okay, let me know if you need anything.
Okay, can you sing me that rat song that always puts me to bed?
Aw.
You know,
Yeah, I'll
somewhere
sing it.
out
Oh,
there,
song for
beneath the moonlight.
Wow.
It was the song that you sang to me on our wedding night.
Oh,
Oh, it's adorable.
adorable.
Maybe
My
later.
favorite rat song.
Yes, beautiful rat song. So as you guys are getting some warm liquids in you, which warms you up and you're feeling a little bit better, you do realize that there's no sign of Grimaldi and the Merry Mendicants, and also no sign of Inquisitor Bunce.
They sleeping?
Everyone turn
Is
in
it
for
late?
the night.
It's late, but it's not that late. Like it's maybe like 7.
What was the barkeep's name?
It was about
Balthazar.
Oh, Balthazar. I want to ask him and be like, hey, where'd everybody go? Is it
Yes, that's a
what
very
a
good
commotion?
question.
Is there a party somewhere that we weren't
Balthazar
invited to?
says, "Oh yes, your friends, the minstrel and that rather unfortunate weasel. Well, actually, the rains stopped. The bridge out of town cleared up, and they departed. So they went on their way."
Weasel was specifically here for this town.
Is he telling the truth? I want to
Ooh.
roll.
Yeah, I would like to figure something out.
Or was
well.
they all taken?
Okay, so let's have Finn. You want to roll figure someone out, and then Yana,
Yes.
you did say that yes, Inquisitor Bunce did say he wanted to head towards the castle,
Right.
the
Which-
ruins of the castle. Yeah.
The idea that he'd have left the moment the bridge cleared makes no sense.
Yeah.
I can roll to figure someone out, but I feel like they're why.
Well, I mean, it does have a lot of other cool stuff you could do with that, but I think Finn's got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, good point.
Figure someone out with charm, which is my best stat. Average roll, but it puts it to a 9.
9. Okay, so with a 9, you can ask one question.
Well, I guess the only one that seems pertinent is if he's actually telling the truth.
Right. Well, I do want to be clear that due to kind of Yana's realization, at least about Bunce, you know he's lying at least about the Inquisitor. So I will let you ask another one if you want
Sure.
to there.
By the way, Michael, I genuinely thought you were purposely providing a false memory. So
No, I provided you a true memory. So yeah, Finn, you can go ahead and ask another if you want.
Yeah. How could I get him to reveal the true location of the truth?
Oh, it's a good one. I think if you would convince him that you're kind of like on his side, he might give you some more details about it. But you're very much like outsiders, so he's kind of giving you the happy hosts like for the tourist routine.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think Finn would be like, now Balthazar, I know we are but outsiders, but I'm sure that the merriment that the minstrels posed was quite good, and you did ask them to perform, and I think they were coming around to it. So if they truly did leave, that does seem rather odd.
He's like, okay, give me a persuade with a +1 because you're acting on what you learned.
Yep.
So you get an extra +1 as well as your charm.
Not as good. 9 again.
Ooh. Okay.
Can I assist with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to sort of come up from behind Finn with the Raven's mask on, the crow mask on, and I'm going to pull out a what are they called? the Flammarian's fire and sort of,
Whoa.
sort of shake it in my hand a little bit so you can hear the sloshing liquid inside.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that bumps it up to a 10. You can go ahead and mark exhaustion there. Okay, so he says, well, you said it yourself, Master Cardew. You wanted them to play at Reaping Night. Now...
I left some chicken on the floor for you.
Right, all right. He says, you wanted them to play at Reaping Night. Now, they will. And as he's saying this, Seamus and Janna, I think you guys are the most martial of the team here. So you would know, you hear some paws outside in kind of the empty street. You look out and you see there are maybe 4 to 5 villagers. These are not kids. These are full-on animals dressed up as reaping jacks with the pumpkin masks on. They all have some short bows and quivers in their hands. And they actually pull their bows, they put arrows to the strings, and they shout out together. They're like, "Death to the followers of the false autumn queen. No outsider shall wear the crown of leaves." And they unleash a fusillade of arrows into the bar. One of them does hit Balthazar. He is hit with some of these arrows. You can tell he's very surprised and alarmed by this as the arrows stick into him. The arrows do whistle around you guys. Maybe I'll let one person do something that could try and provide some cover or help.
Janna immediately kicks over a table.
Yeah, that's what I was
get
thinking.
Cover from the arrows.
Yes, Janna, give me a what do you think this would be? Maybe we could just do Trust Fate.
I'd do a Trust Fate.
Fate. Or parry, maybe. Well, I don't know. It's close range.
Yeah,
I would say Trust Fate makes the most sense here. Or maybe
I'm trying to see if there's
something.
a battle move that makes sense for her.
Right. I could also see wreck something because you're smashing over a table.
A wreck something would be great.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll wreck something. So you're kind of building something, but
I
you're
did
also
horrible. That's only I rolled snake eyes, so I got a 5.
God. Okay.
Nothing to
All
do
right.
for that.
Okay, so I'm gonna say
somebody's got a thing with me that they can take 2 exhaustion to give me a +2, but I don't remember who does.
That's me. Yeah, I can burn some more exhaustion for this.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll seeing what's happening, I'll sort of duck out of the way of the arrows and sort of throw a shoulder into the table that's trying to be kicked over.
Nice. What does that bring it to, Janna?
That would bring it to a 7.
Okay, cool. All right, so the 7 for wreck something. You cause collateral damage, attract attention, or end up in a bad spot. I'm gonna say
Obviously,
go
in a
ahead.
bad spot.
Yeah. I'm going to say you end up in a particular bad spot. You don't take another injury, but you get the table over your friends. None of them are hurt, and you're not hurt too, but you're out of cover.
Got it.
So your friends left to help you, or you can help yourself.
She just says, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Janna.
She says, fuck it, and jumps out the window to attack these guys.
Oh my God. Okay. We'll come back to you with that attack if that's okay.
Sure.
All right, let's go around real quick. Knives, we'll check in with you in this kind of quick battle here. Battle mode.
Let's see. Knives is going to try to locate another table and try to quickly carve out a little shield to give to somebody.
Pretty cool. You could throw it to Janna to give her some assistance in the battle she's going to have.
Definitely.
I think. Yeah. Okay. So give me this a jury rig.
Yeah, we'll say it's a jury rig.
Okay. Cool.
There we go. That is going to be a 9.
Wow. You guys we're not rolling so hot this game, but that's okay. Okay. All right. So on a 9, it works once and then breaks.
I'll mark an exhaustion to bump it up to a 10.
Nice. You make a really solid shield. So Knives, you could throw it to another character just as a free action. You don't have to.
So on a 10 plus, it either works exceptionally well or you get an additional use out of it. And I'm assuming for this would probably be an additional use of deflecting an arrow or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just saying the exhaustion is her knowing how to use it, since this is getting
Got it.
lost to her.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool.
If that
Right,
makes
so
sense.
now you have this shield. So I'll factor that in when you're engaging in melee for like.
Yeah, when she's doing the stupid thing.
Well, I mean, hey, crazy like a fox, you know?
Yeah.
Okay, Spoons, what are you doing?
All right, so I have the improvised weapon skill. So I'm going to take some of these extra hot lattes that you just provided us.
Oh man, the lattes.
And I'm going to just like throw the scorching hot coffee out the window at
Pumpkin spice lattes.
at these
and they
archers.
add. Yes, please.
So I guess would this be finesse?
So I think for improvised weapon, first you got to go ahead and roll cunning.
Okay. Oh boy, I picked the dice that have the circles instead of the numbers, and I have to count them all now. 4 and a 5. So 9.
A 9. Okay, so it's got a weakness.
Plus 1 cunning.
Right.
So a
it's
10.
very good. Okay, yeah.
The
so it's
hottest
got,
coffee. I guess.
Right, and I'll let you go ahead and use it right away for target someone.
Okay. I didn't. What do I roll for that one?
That one is finesse.
Finesse. Okay. I think I have a 0 for that.
Okay.
Okay. That is a 5 and 5. 2 5s. 10.
Whoa, incredible. Okay, so with that you can actually strike again, so you can do like double attacks with these.
Oh yeah,
lattes.
two mugs.
All right, with 2 mugs of burning hot pumpkin spice.
Double 3s, 6 plus 1, 7.
Okay, well it just means like you do more damage. You like double damage.
Okay.
That's what because otherwise
okay.
you just like keep rolling forever if you keep rolling high.
I don't know.
Yeah, so you shoot one, it does really well. You hurl out another, and yeah, these guys like I would say there's like 4 of them. 2 of them now have burning lattes like in their faces. It like burns through their masks. They're like squealing, they're squealing and screeching as it's like burning into their fur. Yeah, they're not happy. All right, Finn, what are you doing?
So Balthazar got an arrow to the shoulder, and
He got several arrows in him. He's like dying right now.
Okay. Finn will sort of drag him. Basically drag Balthazar into the cover and just sort of like basically is putting pressure on the wounds to stop the bleeding. And at the same time, he's sort of like, Balthazar, I don't know what is going on, but it does seem that you are not in this, but I'm just trying to help.
Okay. Go ahead and roll Trust Fate, unless you have a better.
Could I instead of luck, could I do like a finesse and basically just try and basically sort of tear off cloth and start wrapping?
Yeah, go for it. Just give me a flat finesse roll so you can keep him alive for a little bit.
Yeah, because that is way better than my luck.
I think he's not long for this world. Maybe he'll stay alive long enough to tell you something.
With my finesse, it's a 9.
Okay. All right. So he does manage to whisper to you something. He's like, if you want to you must find the first Autumn Queen. Go to the castle at Heath Hill. And then Balthazar dies. Yeah, the castle at Heath Hill.
That's where we're having brunch.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Seamus, what are you doing?
Oh, Balthazar is dead, and the enemy's outside the inn right
Yeah, there's
now.
4 of them, 2 of which are scorched by cider. But there's 4 of them, so they've been hurt, but like they're still up.
All right, so Seamus is going to do what he does. He's going to wade into battle since he has Ironhide, when a groove inflicts harm on you, suffer 2 fewer harm from each attack, minimum 1 harm. When you inflict harm on a group, inflict additional harm. So he's going to storm a group.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, take on the whole group.
And that way they'll be focused
Battle's
on
going to
him.
be over before Yana does anything.
Well, there's 4 of them. I mean, I don't think Seamus is powerful, but he can't probably kill everybody.
That's the first thing he's doing in this fight, so... let's storm a group again. There we go. Storm a group. I mark exhaustion and roll might. That's a 6. And that's a 5. Plus 3, 14.
Whoa. Oh, now the high rolls come in. All right, awesome. Okay, so...
On a hit, trade harm. So I'm doing at least 2 harm to them.
Okay, I think you definitely take out one of them and probably do injury. Or which one are you picking here from the list?
So on a 2, alright? I'm going to keep them off balance and confused. And I'm going to use them against each other. So I'll mark another exhaustion, and they inflict their harm against themselves.
Right, okay. I think you are going to take 1 harm, which your armor might get. And yeah, so 3 harms. So I would say, yeah, 2 of them have been defeated, and their morale is hurt. But yeah, so you just like, charge in, you're swinging your axe. Maybe you just like come right in through the neck. One of their heads, like in the pumpkin mask, goes like sailing away, and then you just bring it down to the shoulder of the other one. Big spray of blood. They're shocked, but they're still fighting. The other two are left. Kiva.
I'll mark 1 wear on my chainmail to absorb that harm.
Okay. Kiva, what are you doing? Then we'll check back with Yana.
There's still a couple of them out there, right?
Yeah, there's at least 2.
I'm just gonna shoot them with a bow.
Okay.
And target someone. So. That's gonna be a 12.
Whoa. Okay, so yeah, that's 2 harm on this guy.
I would say it'll be 1 harm because it's a 1 harm bow.
Right. Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot one of the guys that looks, who hasn't been really hurt yet, sort of weak, soften him for the rest of them, and then just dive back into cover.
Sounds good. I think Seamus took out the 2 who Spoons gave the latte, so they were already kind of hurt. So yeah, there's 2 left. One with the arrow, so one is hurt, but there's 1 fresh one. Yana.
Is it still raining at this point, or is it over?
It's a pretty light rain, maybe.
Okay. So she dives out of the window into the bright light rain. She gets a bit covered in mud, and she rises back up from that and attacks the first one that's near her. Doesn't even matter who it is, as long as it's not Seamus.
Oh yeah, it's not Seamus.
Okay.
It's all happening kind of, seconds apart from each other.
Yeah, she just snarls and launches herself at one of them.
Nice. Okay, so going with engage in melee?
Yeah. And that is a 9.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not rolling well tonight. But
okay, hey, nine's not so bad.
Yeah, it's not terrible, but keep in mind I've got a might of plus
there. So is there any way I could help that roll?
Bump it up to a 10.
Yes, if you mark exhaustion for help, you could do that.
Righto. So I'll mark 1 exhaustion, give you a +1.
Cool.
All right. So Seamus and Yana, just like together, just like you were battling it out in that in the Golden Anchor tourney a few days ago. Now your blades are aligning once more. So yeah, Yana, with the 10, you're definitely trading harm. Which one are you going to pick for the 3?
Sure. So on a 10 plus, you get to pick 3. So I'm going to inflict serious harm, suffer little harm, and frighten my foe.
Yeah, I think you definitely kill one of them and you frighten the other. How do you take down the one Reaping Jack that you destroy?
She just cuts his head straight off of his shoulder, which splashes down into the mud, and she kicks over the body, have it join the head as blood. The arterial blood sprays her pretty white fur red.
Oh man, yeah, more of this red on white happening as the body just collapses. And I think there is like some kind of what's the word, frustration, or like, the memory of what you experienced is kind of like animating this violence.
Yeah, like she's doing the thing, like she's recreating to an extent what happened to her dad, but also reliving what she wanted to do that she wasn't allowed to, which is like the root of all of her violence.
Right.
Is being restrained, which people have been restraining her this whole game from like committing violent acts. So
yeah,
it's why she chafes against restraint so badly,
Okay.
And now she's just unleashed, and she just looks at the next one and growls.
Yeah, he just like dashes off, just wordlessly. He drops his he like slings his bow over his shoulder and just runs over into the alleys of the city. So right now, like, it is there's a little bit more quiet, but like you can tell the villagers are going to be up in force pretty soon. So getting out of there does seem to be a good idea. You do actually see Papa Silver rolling over in like a wagon, just like an old like a farmer's kind of takes his crops to market kind of thing, with like an old goat pulling it. And he's just like, if you're looking for an easy way out of town, come aboard, quick.
What happened to your community?
He's like, it's best.
Balthazar was shot by your own people. What is going on here?
He says, well, you've come at a bad time. People in the village are taking sides, and unfortunately, it seemed that Balthazar picked the wrong one. Come on, let's get out of here.
Which side are you on?
I'm whatever side keeps those old traditions going.
Oh, like the sound of that, but let's go.
Okay, into your wagon.
Janna gets
Wait.
up on the wagon.
Is it pulled by a goat that's like a guy, like one of us? Or
No,
like...
in this world, animals with hooves are non-sentient.
Okay, I don't know. I was like, is it like Pluto and Goofy rules? Like, what?
Yeah, exactly. So unlike Pluto and Goofy, my cool fantasy world is consistent and better.
Great.
So does that mean like
that, Disney?
Does that mean like
so like there can't be like a pig person there or a...
No, there's no pig people, but pigs are like beasts of burden.
There's no...
I have a quick question about all that then. So is the only carrion bird the vulture then? Because crows are people in this world, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So something's got to be eating the dead bodies. So is it vultures or vultures not humans?
Yeah, there's insects. Vultures are sentient, so they probably eat dead bodies. But
vultures don't have hooves.
No. I'm just trying to figure out what's a carrion bird,
right,
in this world that would descend from the sky and eat something that died.
Right. I think like a vulture and a crow still eats corpses, but they're sentient.
Gross.
So yeah, they're probably like, well, they're like, weird grave robbers would be in our world.
No, I'm trying to get the picture of like, because one of the things in my head is that like the body of Theodore was left to be eaten by the crows. So now it's like,
it's just like your neighbor.
Literal humanoid crows walked up and started eating his dead body.
Hey, look at this guy. Want to meet on this one?
Well,
hey guys, the buffet down the road. Let's go get a bite.
Like, golly gee, that's really fucked up. Okay.
Yeah, if you don't want to think about that though, there's also lots of insects are also unsentient. Non-sentient.
Insects aren't really going to be around in the middle of winter.
That's true. In our world, they could be, though. I guess we're not that consistent after. I'm sorry, Disney. All right, so
okay, but yeah, nice donkey. That's not a lot. Not a guy.
Yeah.
All
right, so the non-sentient goat carries you guys away, and you do see that like the river has subsided, so the bridge is passable. So if Spoons and Knives do just want to like get out of here, which is totally understandable, they could.
Yeah.
It's up to you guys.
Knives.
Let me know.
Yeah, if you want to play the next one.
Yeah.
Can we leave this as a cliffhanger?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm not sure what our schedule is.
Yeah, totally. But I'll just say, they can continue with their own journey if they want.
Cool.
Let's go around though as we end. Let's go around and do the leveling up. If people fulfilled their drives to get advancements. So I think we'll kind of go the opposite way we did the introductions. Knives, which one did you pick for your drives?
My drives are ambition, meaning advance when you increase reputation with any faction. Did that occur? I don't think so.
No, not really.
And I did not protect my ward, who is Spoons.
I don't know. I think you protected
Kind
her.
of did. Yeah, you sang me. You
protected
sang me the song.
by
You protected me emotionally.
Yeah, I'd go for that one.
Well, all right, I'll take it.
Okay, so you can do one advancement there. All right, how about Spoons?
I have chaos, which is advanced when you topple a tyrannical or dangerous figure, which we did not do.
Yeah, not
And
yet.
then wanderlust, which is advanced when you finish a journey to a clearing. I guess we go to
Yes,
we're journeying.
You are in a clearing, so yes, you can do an advancement there.
All right.
All right,
We
cool.
just
Finn.
take a skill.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're
sir.
waiting a long time for this one. It's a
Woo!
wonder. You saw a
Finally
wonder.
marked discovery.
Yeah, you can advance there.
Yay.
And
my
what
second
was the other
is-
one?
It was
One more
thrills. Advanced when you escape from certain death or incarceration.
I think you did. I mean, you run out of town after being attacked.
Sounds good to me. First time
Yeah.
I get to level up twice.
Yeah,
Yay.
finally. I promised. All right, Seamus.
Nada.
Ooh, okay.
No chaos, no greed.
Oh, this is also the first time that Yana does not level up at all. There was no revenge and no chaos.
Okay. Well, there's going to be some chaos coming, I'm sure. Don't worry. And then Kiva.
Definitely no chaos. Probably not any thrills, to be honest, either. Didn't really escape from certain death or incarceration.
You did escape. I think leaving
Mushrooms?
escaping from the spores and also escaping from the town count as certain deaths. So you can
Okay.
take one over there.
Take an advancement on that.
Yeah. All right, guys. So that brings this episode to a close. Next week may have our special guest, but if not, totally okay. It's very very grateful for joining me here. I do know like it's getting really dark. Like that's the trauma is a not it's let's see sufficient but not necessary.
Oh, I just roleplay too hard. I get too into the character.
No. It's good. It's good. Trauma is a power behind, I think, the best. I mean, it's like if it's people accuse it of being overused. Like in every horror thing, it's like the character experiences a horrible trauma, then they go into a horror movie, so the horror hits extra hard. Which, like, I mean, it might be overused. Maybe that's fair, but I think it works. Like it's good for a reason. And it's thinking like trauma. People can actually relate to it as well. Sadly, to different degrees, of course. So that's definitely what I was going for. So I do apologize if it was getting too intense and raw in that scene.
Oh, it was great. I love crying.
Yeah.
I wrote a whole backstory to Alex about our son.
Yeah, and I'm sorry that my reaction to your thing was that's not right. But
No, I thought I was going by what you posted. I
no,
was
what
thinking-
I
I didn't-
posted was all about him getting decapitated.
I guess maybe I read it kind of incorrectly.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't think back to our original games from other times too with Nick's old character. That like totally went past my mind. That's kind of on me. So don't. So
yeah,
it's totally okay.
I guess
Yeah.
I already felt like I was writing way too much, and I guess I should have written more.
Yeah, or just like I just should have like thought back to what I remembered from.
Yeah, have you
No,
not
the
seen
previous-
Conan the Barbarian?
Oh yeah.
Because I was very
Yeah, but the decapit. Yeah, very similar. Well, your Thulsa Doom is still out there, but
Yeah.
This arc is more. Yeah, it's more about that trauma tying into the folk horror that you're also experiencing. So we got 2 more episodes. The next one is going to be the week of Halloween, and then the last one, our climax, will be the week after Halloween. But you know what? Halloween's a state of mind, so we're doing spooky stuff in November. We'll be okay. The next one will be on the 26th, an episode. This was the eve of Reaping Day, and the next one is Reaping Day, so it's the day right after, and we'll pick up there.
Awesome. Well, thanks, everyone. Thanks for the guests to be here. Hopefully, we'll see you again. I feel like we will. Multiple times in the future.
Oh, yeah, we will return. I'm just not sure if it's next Tuesday.
We will
It's
find
been
out.
great having you
We'll
both.
figure
here.
it out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, thanks everyone for watching. Thanks Grey Mouse for being in there and checking out the stream. We adore you, and thanks for our local fans and fans abroad that check us out on VOD. But thanks, man. Thanks, Michael. Thanks for putting this on. Thanks,
Michael.
everyone, for showing up, because it means a lot to take time out of your day to do this. So until next time, pull up a chair and make
And
time
to tabletop.
Tabletop.
That's what we do, people.
Oh,
All right. We will talk to you soon.
Night, everybody.
I
Pumpkin
Night.
spice lattes are delicious.
That's a lie.